What's the difference between a music producer and a beat maker? Well, I think that I think that you know we got a lot of beat makers and we definitely got a lot of music producers out there. But the inherent difference between a music producer and a beat maker is simply relationship. You know, with a beat maker, it's essentially a person that builds a beat. Makes whether it's using instruments or not using instruments or using software or using hardware. And essentially, what the individual does is they make a lot of tracks. They make a lot of tracks, and they might have vaults full of tracks and beats, by the pound, and dozens and dozens of beats and stuff like that. And essentially, what happens is this person, is either leasing beats, or selling beats, um, and then with a producer, you have an individual that has the quote unquote relationship. Like for example, I have a friend, and this friend of mine, we're really cool. We understand each other's life situations. I understand, maybe this person's relationships, or maybe I had a boyfriend that wasn't the best boyfriend to them, or they had a girlfriend that wasn't the best girlfriend to them, or they had life issues or childhood issues, or just different situations or experiences, or maybe even traveled the world, and they experience a more broadened understanding of the world around them. And therefore, when you have an understanding of someone, their walks of life, the things that they love, the things they experience, and how those things change them, then you're more enabled to produce a song for them. And what ends up happening is inevitably you have a person that builds and constructs music along with an artist inside of the studio. And so that's the difference. The major difference is just that a producer works with this artist, this singer, this a producer actually would help and be more so of a coach for an artist, and let them see that, hey, well, I have a song direction, for you. In the beginning of this song, keep your story. You have the voice, and I want you to use your voice to give a vocal direction to this instrumental soundscape, if you will. But a beat maker really just kind of sends the music over to the artist and kind of lets them just have free reign in doing whatever they want to do with the song. Think about it. Think about the difference between a beat maker and a producer being just like, for example, a person that has a contract job with somebody doesn't necessarily have to check back in with them, or doesn't really have to associate with them, or think about a beat maker as a work from home job, and think about a producer as a person that's actually in the office with the artist. And that's really what the big difference is there. And I say, as independent artists or independent indie musicians or indie producers, the easiest way to be a producer is pretty much to work with your friends and not be afraid to give guidance along, how someone would go about this song. You kind of, as a producer, you kind of retain the creative direction of the project, whereas as a beat maker, you kind of just relinquish the beat to the person to kind of do whatever it is that they want to do. And I think that I really think that as any type of, as if you're a producer or a beat maker, whichever one you are, I think that for me personally, it behooves me and it grows me more as an artist to do a bit of both, because in all scenarios you won't be able to do all of one or all of the other. There will inevitably be times where you can't always get your artists in the studio. Maybe they have to work, or maybe they're out of town, and you might have to email some ideas back and forth. And also, maybe it's just a beat maker that always emails everything out and always just gives these beats away. I think that it helps to grow producers or beat makers, ideology of how they create, if they do allow an artist to come into the studio and work with them. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure, because you gotta create on the spot, and you don't have all that time to, however much time it takes you to make whatever you're making. It's a little bit different when you have somebody there in the room, you know, explaining to you their ideas and sharing with you how they feel about things. And you gotta come to terms together. You gotta relate with each other. There's a relationship, just like I said. So, that's that, man. And I hope the information you were able to find it informative. I hope that it helped you to, grow to the next level and things of that nature. So, all the best, man. Just trying to be selfless with the things that I learn and give them away, because, when our time here is done, that's it. You know what I mean? So, learn everything it is you have, and give it, man. Give it away, and help people to become better people. Write books, make music, create art. You know, have it to where people, when they come across this earth, they know that you actually existed. You know what I mean? That's why we were created, was to, not assimilate, but to make a difference, like Denzel Washington would say. Don't aspire to just make a living. Aspire to make a difference. Do something different than what it was you experienced. If you see something around, there's something that you don't agree with, and you would like to see change, become that change. And that's what I'm doing here. So y'all like, share, subscribe. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for following and being along with this journey. I don't really think any of us are really followers. It's just more so about being involved in each other's community. So, by following the channel, you become a part of the community. And anytime I have these ideas that come to me that I think just were life changing for me at some point, it might be older ideas, they might be newer ideas that just hit me today, but I'm very thankful to be able to have the opportunity to use YouTube and share in the media model of YouTube. So I love y'all, man. Y'all take care. Be immensely successful, and just super motivated, man, and be encouraged, y'all, because everything that you want to accomplish couldn't be accomplished unless you were able to have the idea to want to accomplish it in the first place. So, with the presence of idea being there, it's a sign to you that everything that you're actually thinking about is more than possible. Peace.